Okay, I think that this is probably going to be one of the biggest projects I've ever made. Like, longer than the Roblox platformer game that I did. I forgot what the name was. But either way, I think that this will be a fun time, and I hope that y'all can enjoy it too. So, with that out of the way, enjoy.
Hey! So, this is it. This is this was the big idea. So, here's the plan. I'm gonna go through 5 different games, and I'm gonna try to 100% all of them. I'm gonna try to do it quickly, but I'm not sure how quick it's gonna take. So, yeah, but with that out of the way, here's the introduction to the first game. This will seem a bit like out of place, but if you notice, some of the character I may have used in the Beat Saber video might have lightly hinted at it if you know that this game exists or anything about it. But out of the way, let's start it up. Our first achievement being Neptunia Victory Begins. I'll let this
Game
one play.
industry. A land where CPUs rule and game mascots live away from the realm of humans. Game industry is ruled by 4 CPUs who preside over 4 different nations. CPU Whiteheart rules Louis. CPU Blackheart rules La Station. CPU Greenheart rules Leanbox. And CPU Purpleheart rules Planetune. These 4 nations struggle for supremacy, and the constant shifts in control make the world stable. Yet, memories of the deity of sin and her vile scheme are still fresh in game industry's mind. The 4 nations banded together and successfully thwarted her ambitions. Time passed. and game industry once again became a peaceful realm. That peace did not last long. Now the curtains rise on 4 CPUs about to engage in a new war.
Try this on for size. I won't let you get away. I'll finish this. It is.
Alright, that's enough story I'll need. I'm gonna try to keep this short.
Are you supposed to be my opponent?
So, this is the actual game. You can see it's not usually what we play, it's actually more story-based, but all we're gonna do is just try to get all the achievements and beat the game. That's it. This first boss, or this first fight, is actually supposed to be a cheat battle, so don't be surprised when that happens. And as of right now, we're gonna go through the recap of all the characters. The current, we're just talking, so yeah. Starts a little difficult to talk through things. So the game's gonna tell us about town navigation, and here's characters. Here's the first one, Neptune, Deadpool incarnate, main character, and very unsurprisingly happy. And the sister, or the younger sister, Nepgear. Shy, surprisingly more planned out, but is somehow still the younger sister. As of right now, all we're gonna do is just fill out the story. So, all we're gonna do is just go throughout the game, and yeah, I'm correct. Yep, trying to get all the achievements. This is just one of the small extra things I want to get. It's a fun little animation. So first off, the game tells us basically about all the things that you mainly see in the game. It's the guild, where you'll go to see quest, and it'll also talk about the quest rank. That quest rank being very important. What you need to do is get that rank from E to S in order to get an achievement. But that'll be something for later. It also talks about the Basilicom. This one's a little bit less important. Just kind of like where all of your stuff is. You might go here every now and then. You do need it for one achievement, but that'll also be very far into the future. You do first. If you leave, also let me just change my settings. Ignore that save. Let's go. First area. And this is going to be what the main part of the game is going to be.
Oh,
Walking around in
I found
dungeons.
something good.
Let's zoom down.
I'm a kangaroo.
Mainly walking around in dungeons. That's it. Also fighting, that too.
Okay, time to let me do
Another
this.
big thing. How you fight? Use your character, move them into the little blue square you see. You just hit them. That's it.
Yes.
Alright. Very simple. Also, you'll gain a couple items and stuff next feed. You know how an RPG works. You know. So what you do. Also, another thing, just for a free achievement. This guy. Changing a combo. That's it. Alright, you got your three attacks, or your 3 types of attacks. Yeah, your 3 types of attacks. Rush, Power, and Break. Rush isn't really useful right now because that's just for AC drive gauge. power is good for damage, and break is good for breaking the guard. Breaking the guard just means that you do more damage to the enemy. That's it. But right now, we're not going to need rush, like, at all. Also, the thing right there that says CP, that's combo points. You can only use a certain amount. You can only use a certain amount of combo points per level, or you can only use a certain amount of attacks that your combo points allow you to use. Makes sense. And right now, first things first, start killing some guys. Yet another achievement that we'll be gradually getting. Yeah, this just kind of happens sometimes when you play the way I'm playing. It's just a glitch that happens from time to time. It's actually kind of funny because it's just like you're just stuck here in limbo. It's like you can still walk around and stuff. Just like that happens sometimes. Anyway, back to the mission. Yeah, to be honest, this game is probably going to be the slowest out of the 5 I'm playing. Mainly because everything isn't really a fast-paced game. It's more story-based. So, it's not like you're going to be seeing a lot of action. Except maybe for like a fight or two. Hold on a second. Just check. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. But at the very least, as entertaining to watch as possible. Because I can definitely... Because I know for a fact that this game isn't really what you're used to, especially with like things like Beat Saber, and especially with teams play games like Beat Saber and a little bit of Sonic. So suddenly jumping from that to dungeon crawler RPG feels a little different. But I still wanted to try to keep the quick aspect by just trying to beat the game as quick as possible. Although I will admit, this game still needs a guide. Like, this is not one of those games that I can just play and, like, remember from top to bottom, because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. But, whatever. Oh yeah, also this too, item depth. You also need this for achievements, for an achievement. First things first, you get one for just making an item. And when you make them, it goes in the shop. Very cool. I don't need to worry about that right now.
Alright, I'm just gonna talk over this because this is just the characters just talking. This is just the game talking about the characters. You get 3 of them. You have the 3 other characters, Vert, Blonde, and Noir, and then you have the other 3 candidates, that being Uni, Rom, and Ram. But that's really all the game talks about. Don't worry, we will get to see them a little bit later in the game, but just not as much as you really.
You take Noir and you take all the excess of Noir and you crunch it down to something that could fit in your pocket. Oh yeah, also all these characters are based off of games, if you couldn't tell by the very easy naming system. Planetoon, Leanbox, PlayStation, the Wii, they're all based off of consoles. Even the other characters, Neptune based off the Game Gear, Uni based off of the PSP, and Ram and Ram actually based off of the 2 screen for the DS. Just a cool little factoid. I'm going to change my stuff. I'm going to change that you saw right there in the top right. You can get little achievements. You can get small extra achievements for stuff. They usually just give you very small stat buffs, but might as well use them. Also, I'm going to try to level up my character as much as I can. But to be fair, since this is, as of right now, just the prologue, it's the prologue in Chapter 1, you don't need to level up as much, but you should for extra purposes. Like, you should level them up, but you don't really need to. Mainly because you're gonna need to, mainly because it's gonna be a very high, the level barrier is gonna jump up a lot if you don't.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
what is this?
just really walking around. Oh yeah, sometimes you can also gain a couple extra things, but we'll talk about that later. Oh yeah, also, basic actions for moving. You got movement, you have this, called Signal Search, where if you use it in the right area, you might find a good item, which appears randomly, but it'll help you out every now and then. Your attack button, which is also used to select, and your jump button. Attacking is very simple. If you hit enemy, characters go first. If you miss, or the characters attack behind you, then enemies go first. If you just run into them, then it's determined by by a different substat, that being your speed stat. It's very easy. Very simple, very easy.
I've been waiting. A big victory. We're victorious.
Alright, there we go. Okay, we will no longer be grinding till the prologue's over. So new character, her name is Ray. We will be seeing her again. Don't ask how I know that. And now we got to leave the dungeon. Alright, going back into the town. Extra cutscene. Also, we learned about two other characters, Compa and IF. They are both Neptune's greatest friends. We don't see them much, but we will see them again a little bit later. Actually, for a pretty solid amount into the game later. So yeah. Cutscenes, and now, oh yeah, also characters can join and leave the party. It's just something you gotta deal with. So now, Neptune is all alone. Forced to go back to the game. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why these are here, if you ever collect these guys, called collection points, and then re-enter the dungeon, it'll mark it for future reference in the game. So that way, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, if you're wondering, there's two types. There's, you got these guys, collection points, which you gain, the save points, events, actually, that's a huge thing right there. So, yeah, don't worry about it much. Collection points are small items, some rare collection points that you can only gather once, hidden items that you can also only gather once, but they appear every time, but are also, of course, hidden.
So apparently the audio on this part doesn't work, so instead you get a bad summary from me. So, Neptune falls into an alternate dimension by Ray and meets two other characters, Cludia and Noir. The Noir doesn't know Neptune because it's a different Neptune from a different dimension, and we meet Cludia. We also find out that Neptune can no longer transform and use her HDD, so they go on a couple of quests, and they find out about another group called the Seven Sages. The Seven Sages are basically the main bad guys in the story. They're all against CPUs, and we meet the first one, Agnes, who is basically just a bully saying that Neptune and Pluto shouldn't be CPUs because they don't look old enough to be smart enough to control a entire nation, and they're kind of right. But we don't like them anyway. And so, a couple of dungeon grinds later, we find out that in order to become a CPU, you need to get what's called a CPU memory. You need to get a CPU memory. The CPU memory gives you the power of a CPU, and you're able to make your own nation. And so the war leaves, but we follow suit right after, so that way Neptune can get her power back. Also, we find out about another character called Histoire, or just a smaller version of it, which is going to be the main way of them getting back together.
Alright. There you go. Alright, great. Also, just for safekeeping, I'm just gonna use one of these guys. Don't ask how grass heals someone, it just does. I'm gonna switch over to Noir because she also needs some stats for just walking around. Yes, you get something for doing this. Believe me? Watch. Told you. We're not gonna be doing all of them because some of them are like incredibly difficult. If you don't believe me, just look at some of these guys. Stand still for a certain amount of time. Walk around for a certain amount of time. Jump. Search. Symbol attack. Fail it. Get ambushed. Pick up items. There's a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. So we're not going to do those because doing all of those things for every character would take years. Especially considering the fact that for one of them, you literally just need to stand still and not do anything for like 5 hours. Plus, you don't need to get the You don't need to get the platinum, so I don't really care. Just in case, if you're scared, you can always go to one of these guys and just save. Ignore this one. I messed up recording.
Hey.
So you want to remember? So you remember how I talked about Lydia potentially also being very scary? Yes, this is when that happens. Also, I think in this part the game acts really weird. Also, new enemy, R4.
I won't lose to the likes of
Basically,
you.
like the main antagonist.
Die. Waiting for this.
Also, you're not supposed to win this one. As it should be.
Fools! I'll finish you off one by one.
Told you. Also, you get an achievement for literally just taking a hit. You're literally just getting hit. So remember what I said about Lydia being scary? Here's why. At first, these two get beat to death for like 5 minutes. And here's why. This is Iris Heart. Basically, she wanted the equivalent of, yeah, just kind of a psychopath. That's kind of all I can say. But it's also like a really strong psychopath. And this is what the ADHD is, or the HDD. And now the game tells you about the expenditures and stuff. Very simple. If you have that little drive gauge right there, and you do your 3 actions, you get to do one of these guys. They don't use up your drive gauge, but they are usually not as strong, and you sometimes may need more drive gauge to get it. There's another thing called the extreme drive attacks, but we don't have any of those, so I'll
I'll
explain
keep
them
you
later.
around till I'm satisfied.
I'll finish you off.
Now then, what to do?
That's what I mean when I say that this one might actually be difficult if you're not ready for it.
Anytime.
Because it is actually a fairly difficult fight.
May I begin?
However, this is
May
when using SP skills, which is just skills that use up that little bottom bar that you see right there.
Now
That's
then,
when it actually becomes
what to
useful.
do?
Die!
My
It's also when using actual attack, using actual break
Ready
attacks,
anytime.
it's a lot more useful because they do
May
a
I
bunch of
begin?
damage.
I'll finish you. No way.
Told you. It's a little scary if you're not ready, but if you are,
didn't
it's
expect
that
this.
easy. Yeah, walk off. Fine. Easy fight. Oh yeah, let me explain AD, or the HDD system. It's very simple. Oh yeah, also, the whole thing about Neptune being trapped in another dimension. Yeah, now they can connect and talk. Yay. This thing, the Nep Station, also somewhat important. You will need it for at least once, but I'm going to be using it throughout the entire, basically entire second run. Nep Station is basically your ranking system of the game. At the end of every chapter, they will rank you on 4 different categories. Shares, quests, scouts, and enemy KOs. Shares is a simple thing. There's a share system on the top right corner that shows how much, I guess, like follower, like the percentage of followers in an area. Getting Neptune up at least above 50% will give you a score, but I always go for 100% because why not? Alright, easiest way to get a 10. Second off, quest. Each quest has like an invisible point value, but you can usually get this by just doing every quest. Right? Each quest has an invisible point value, and if you do enough quests, if you do enough quests to hit that point value, it's a very easy way to get the 10. But if if you're like me, you can just do every quest once, and it'll usually get it to you. It'll usually get it. Same thing with shares. Or, no, not shares, scouts. Scouts. Scouts are another thing that you'll learn not in this chapter, so it doesn't really apply, but it's very simple. All I need to know is that using them a bunch gets you the 10. And finally, enemy KOs. You kill it. If you kill things, you get the 10. It's basically a free one. But that doesn't matter for this chapter, and it's also not going to matter for this one. So yeah. But getting a score of at least 30 and above gives you a bunch of good stuff. Also, new trophy. The end of chapter 1. Good job, us. Also, new character, Blonde, and another person that we'll learn about in a bit. Also, Noir left us, so yeah. And now we get an EXP drive level up. That's that too. But for now, I think that's where we're gonna stop. I want to stop at least at the end of every chapter. Some are a little bit longer than others, but I think it'll be alright. So I'm gonna save because you do have to manually save. And with that, I guess that'll be it. I hope this is a great start to hopefully very fun series. Until then, we'll see you later. Bye.